a tattoo stencil works. If you've ever seen a tattoo stencil and thought, how does that work? Why doesn't it come off when he's tattooing the skin? And where does the sun go at night? Well, I can answer two of those questions. First things first, your artist has to draw up your design and print it out on a sheet of paper so we can cut it out and run it through with this sheet of carbon transfer paper. This transfer paper, along with our Thermofax machine, is going to enable us to transfer pure carbon ink onto this paper here to use as a stencil. But not without this carrier sheet. This carrier sheet here is going to ensure that only the design I drew gets transferred onto our stencil paper. I can adjust the contrast or brightness with this knob here and run it through the machine, making sure none of the edges are poking out of my carrier sheet. Now, because the design goes underneath the carbon transfer paper, it's going to look like it prints out flipped horizontally relative to what we're used to. But we're going to put the stencil on design side facing the client, so everything's going to come out normally. Once I get it cut out here, I'm going to get rid of this carbon transfer paper and the backing paper because we don't need it anymore. And now you can see here how the design is flipped. Our Thermofax machine has transferred the design in carbon ink onto our stencil paper, so we only need a little bit of stencil glue to get it applied. And there we go. That right there is.
Hey, and welcome back. Today we're going to go over lining and also my client's really cool idea for his sleeve. So with lining, I always recommend that you pull your line towards your body and bring it into you. Don't ever push your line away from you. You'll have a lot better control, a way more steady hand, better balance, and way better line consistency. Line work is the skeleton to most tattoos, so you always want to be really considerate of every move you're making. A super game changer is getting yourself a floor lamp. This is going to illuminate literally any transparency that you might have. This is great for double checking your line work and keeping your integrity up. My client's tattoo consists of animals that represent his family members, as well as the color of their eye incorporated somehow. This is how the butterfly came out, and I thought it was so cute.
Alrighty, part 3. I'm going to show you a few different ways to practice shading. The first technique is called a liner whip, and it is used to produce a gradiated dot pattern in tattooing. This method has become very popular in the tattoo community and has stunning effects when done properly. You want to slow the needle speed down and do quick, precise hand motions to feather out the dots. Alrighty, we're going to switch to a mag shader and try some techniques. We got small circles. We got a brush pattern. We're going to do some whip shading. And now we're going to do big circles. Now all of these have different functions across many styles in tattooing.
As you can see, when the needle first got into the skin, a lot of ink came out of the cartridge and made it really hard to see. The way I deal with it is that I would take a good look before I put the needle into the skin and finish the piece by feeling it instead of seeing it. Also, it would really help if you just taken less ink into the cartridge. That's why the second stripe I made in this video did not have any ink spilling.
Welcome to today's tattoo. We got a super fun piece. We're making a quarter sleeve out of Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. Now let's get this thing pressed on there. We got some relief cuts because this thing wraps. Notice how this design form fits the area so it looks nice and full. Now we got tons of tiny little details in this thing. I'm excited to get started. So let's grab our liners. We're rocking a tight 9, a tight 3, and an 11 round shader. We're doing a series of thin lines on the interior, some of which are to establish the shadows, and we're using a gray wash for those ones. We're switching over to our black, and we're going around, and we're framing in our character. We got a 9 mag And we're also rocking a 13 curved mag for some of these bigger areas of tone. Now let's keep hammering away at this. Now we got the lightning, so we're gonna use black behind it just to make sure the lightning pops. And let's check it out. Thank you for watching.
Welcome.